Hello and welcome to the channel. It's Iran. If you're watching this after midnight, of course, happy new year. Let's get ready for 2025. All the best wishes, guys. Lots of happiness, lots of joy, and may our favorite game also bring us more stability, I would say. So in the past video, the last video, I talked about my flop 5 for Star Citizen of our 4.0. Today we are going to talk about the positive, right? The top 5. My favorite features, my favorite improvements, my favorite things about Star Citizen of our 4.0. I've got to say that making this list was actually quite hard. I was stuck at 4 for a very long time until I found another one, right? So let's get started. Let's get to number 5 here. And I think number 5 are the NPCs that are working. Finally, we've been stuck with stuck NPCs for years at this point, ever since the very start of the baby universe in Alpha 2.0. NPCs have been very janky and not convincing at all. They are starting to now be quite serious. I even saw some NPCs climbing ladders at outposts, right? NPCs hunting each other. Sometimes I went to Pyro 4, that was Shola's Beach, and there were 2 rival gangs of NPCs hunting each other. Some snipers were taking positions, other NPCs were hunting them down. I was like, what is going on here? I thought that these were players fighting at the locations, but no, they were NPCs. It was phenomenal. Sometimes the NPCs are just, at peace. They're doing their own thing. They're having lunch or dinner, repairing things. It's really bringing a lot of life to the verse that was missing before, and I love this. All right, my number 4 is that we now have new opportunities for trading. Now, I'm not entirely convinced with Pyro to stand and trade. I think it's still too risky, and I think the profits are still not good enough. That being said, I love that now we can go to some random stations, find things that we can buy, sell them at other stations. I've actually made a full spreadsheet. It's almost full. It should be released in probably next week or the week after that. But I've got a lot of entries, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of entries in that spreadsheet. So I know exactly where to buy things, where to sell things. Lots of new commodities that really make more sense now. I think that they're really getting ready for the crafting system and the future of the economy here. Of course, right now the economy is still developer driven. It's not player driven. But that being said, it's still much. I would say that the bone to chew for traders is much bigger than it used to be before, and that's awesome. My number 3 is the Pyro system itself. Of course, I think Pyro looks phenomenal. The spacescape is gorgeous. The planets are quite fantastic as well. I love going to Bloom, of course. Pyro 4 seems quite an interesting one as well, with its seas and the looks of the different moons, and of course Pyro 5 in the sky. That's quite an impressive sight as well. I love the hot desert type of planet that Monox is as well. The creepy blue deep atmosphere of Pyro 1. It's really beautiful. The outposts, when we don't fall through them, are also very well designed as well. So special mention to some of the outposts that have that little landing pad that's slightly buried. That's the very Star Wars like. I love this very much. Number 2, jump points. Oh boy, I have flown from Pyro to Stanton back and forth many times at this point, and I never get tired of it. Especially that feeling when you're in front of that jump point and it opens and your ship gets sucked into. Oh my gosh, that is every time. It's like a wow factor. I don't know if I'm gonna get bored of that eventually. Probably I'll get blasé, right? But after over a month now, I'm not. It's just always a sight to be seen, a really cool experience, and I think that CIG really nailed this. It seems to be working quite well. No hiccups. It's quite a smooth experience here, transitioning from one star system to another. So good job here, CIG. And of course, number 1, how could it be, right? How could it be anything else than server meshing, which makes all of that possible. We've been waiting for server meshing for years and years and years at this point. It's static server meshing, right? It's not dynamic server meshing. Dynamic server meshing will come eventually, but that being said, it's really changing the game for the better. For me, it's everything that I had imagined, right? There's NPCs working better, going to other star systems, smoother experience inside one star system as well, more players per shard as well, up to 600 players at this stage, which is actually not that much. People were telling in the comments section that you know, even with 600 players per shard, Pyro is so big that we don't see too many people apart from some of the hotspots, which are the outposts, right? Which is true. If I go mining, I don't see anyone. So yeah, it's still, nevertheless, server meshing is making all of that possible, and that's why it's getting my my #1 spot. And you know what? The best part is that CIG are going to continue iterating on server meshing. They are going to continue working on it, and it's always going to get better. So there we have it, guys. That's my top 5 of my favorite new features and improvements for Star Citizen FR 4.0. We're not going to talk about the negatives. We already made a video about that. If you got some negative stuff to talk about, please comment in the previous video. It's right there, right? This one here is about the good stuff. So if you have any other positives for 4.0, well, please let me know as well in the comment section down below. That's all for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I've been Irad. I would not have been able to make all that content without my Patreon and YouTube members, including Dr. Forbid, Zero Kosher, Shadow Rise, and Ducky to Docker, and I will see you guys in the next one.
It's always been clear from the start. There'll come a time we'll have to be smart. Now what we have is just an illusion, a placeholder that's far from the final vision. Thou shalt not take what thou hast for granted. It's all subject to change, it's what they wanted, and it will stay so till release day. Pay attention, that's what they always say.